let's take a look at our top selections for Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 8 at Aqueduct on Sunday. Good field for the $100,000 Memories of Silver Stakes. Let's take a peek. These are 3-year-old fillies going 1 1/16 on the inner turf. Chad Brown sends out 2 from his armada of talented turf runners, the 1 Fluffy Socks, the 2 Ingracia. These horses are very familiar with each other. They have class. They are both returning off layoffs.
Yeah, they're both off the layoff here. They're the 2 morning line favorites. Both showed a lot of potential at 2, Dan. They did face each other once in that Chelsea Flower, and they finished noses apart on the wire. They're both pretty good. We'll see if one or both are ready off the layoff.
The tactical speed edge perhaps goes to the 2 Ingracia as we take a look at the Timeform US pace projector. Timeform US believes that Ingracia can make the lead in a blue bar scenario, favoring horses on or near the early lead. Maybe Sleek Lynx stretching out off a couple of sprints will show some spree speed. Frost Me trying turf for the first time should show speed, but this pace might be slow, and that could work against Fluffy Socks.
Yeah, I agreed. I mean, we'll see. You know, I'll agree with Timeform US that the pace is probably going to be pretty moderate in here. I'll disagree that Ingracia will be on the lead. I don't see any real reason why she would be on the lead, Dan. I mean, going back to her career debut, they basically walked early in that race, and she wasn't on the lead. They rated her right from the start. I don't think she's going, but the pace should be slow.
Fluffy Socks won 3 out of her last 4 starts as a juvenile filly, including this effort. Shipped out to Del Mar for the Grade 3 Jimmy Durante on November the 28th. She got a nice pace to rally into, and she's going to run by a couple of next out winners.
She ran well in here, I thought. This is a pretty strong finish that she puts in through the stretch to close this race down. Thought she ran well in the Chelsea Flower before that. She was already a stakes winner on the way into this race. She just did a lot of good things as a 2-year-old. She wasn't that flashy, I didn't think, but she ran well every time.
Ingracia's only loss as a 2-year-old came against the very imposing On Pearl. When I thought she ran well, 3rd in the Grade 2 Jessamine, she returned out of that race to score in the Chelsea Flower over Fluffy Socks. Let's watch that race over soft going at Belmont. And Ingracia is going to angle to the outside here. Fluffy Socks actually got the jump on Ingracia turning into the stretch. And here comes Ingracia. I like the agility she showed, kind of ducking in between horses, while Fluffy Socks is very green.
Yeah, Fluffy Socks drifted pretty badly in this race. You're right, though. Fluffy Socks got the jump on Ingracia in here, and Ingracia has the better finish to prevail down towards the inside. Dan, I really, really like this horse. I loved her as a 2-year-old last year. I thought her debut was excellent to get up in just a crawling pace in front of her, but she still closed it down. Her Jessamine was an underrated performance, I thought, and she ran really well in that Chelsea Flower we just watched. I think this horse is really, really good, and I expect her to run well off the layoff.
John Kimball's going to take a shot on turf with the 3 Frost Me. Just don't see that turf pedigree. She's by Frosted, only 2 for 33 with first-time turf runners. And this dam's a half to Summer Colony, a really nice Grade 1 stakes winner going long on the dirt. I don't see the turf, but this horse's tactical speed might give her an edge. If I'm Kendrick Carmouche, I just put her on the lead.
Yeah, that's what I would do too, especially the way this pace projects the shape out. I don't see the turf pedigree either, but maybe her best chance would be to go to the front and see what happens. The more I looked at it, Dan, the more I felt like maybe Kimball just entered her here thinking if it came off, he'd be in a good spot.
Mark Cassie's going to stretch out Sleek Lynx for her second start of the form cycle. Okay performance in the Melody of Colors. She just fell very far back in that 5-furlong race at Gulfstream, and those races are rarely won in last to first fashion. I think she can improve second off the layoff. She's certainly bred to stretch out, and she can be close to the pace.
Yeah, it has a big pedigree to go longer. I feel like that Melody of Colors maybe was just a prep in there, Dan. Outrun early, gaining some ground late without ever threatening to win it. I liked her at the start of her career. We'll see how good she actually turns out to be. I feel like her career debut is actually a really good performance. She was so green in there and cost herself a victory, in my opinion. And I felt like even in the Talma in her second start, very green in that race. Coming to the stretch, it looked like she just totally lost focus, totally went off stride for a couple of strides and wound up last and then was running again at the end. I think she was better than she looked last year. And I like that she has a race already now on the way back.
The number 5, Oyster Box, won the first 2 starts of her career, and then the Tapit filly ran third in a good edition of the Grade 3 Florida Oaks. Let's watch the Florida Oaks right now. Oyster Box got outrun early. Jouster, who was up in front, set a legitimate pace, kind of got shuffled back a little bit, did Oyster Box, but she's going to come with a solid kick, and Jouster flattered the form when she returned to win the Appalachian with an 87 buyer at Keeneland.
Agree. This was a good field. I thought this filly ran well in here. This was really a pretty good test for her off of 2 wins to begin her career. She won sprinting last year. Perfect trip that day, but still ran well, I thought. I really liked her allowance win off the layoff against a weaker field. And she improved again last time. She has recency now on the 2 horses that she has to beat. She has the pedigree to just keep getting better with racing and with distance. I think there's a lot to like here.
Song of Innocence has entered main track only. We'll move to the 7, the rank outsider on David Aragona's morning line. Bravo Regina's only lifetime victory came via disqualification over Muddy Going. She raced once on turf. She was 97-1, and all things considered, didn't run that badly.
Yeah, I mean, she was a maiden in the Tuppen last year, and, never threatened in there, but didn't embarrass herself at a huge price. The problem for her is it doesn't get any easier against this field.
First time North America off the layoff for the 8 Bubbles on Ice, now with Christophe Clement. And this is a filly that took on some tough company in her last 2 races, both Group 1s. Last time out in the Moyglare Stud, she ran into Pretty Gorgeous, who came back to win the Group 1 Fillies Mile. In that race, she didn't show a lot of speed. She tried to come over the top of everyone in the stretch and made up some ground. The way this pace sets up might work against her if she is the typical European with no early zip.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of trip she can get. I don't mind them coming back in a longer race, Dan. The 2 Group 1 sprinting at the end of last year, I mean, I guess she ran fine. She never looked like she was going to win either one of those races. She ran okay, though. The one time they won a mile with her, the only win on her card, it was only a 5-horse field, but it actually had a solid pace going on, and she kept pretty close to it. So I thought she ran fine that day. Can she win here? I guess she could win. I didn't really love her, Dan, and it's not like Clement has, some kind of great record with these foreign imports.
Let's take a look at our top picks. I'm a little interested in Bubbles on Ice simply because I really respect the competition she was facing over there. She's facing a tough test in the form of the 2 Chads, as well as Sleek Lynx, as well as Oyster Box. So Bubbles on Ice better have them nailed on tight. She has to be at least that 4-1. I'd prefer 5. You're going with Sleek Lynx, Mike, stretching out. I think she can work out a trip under Junior Alvarado, who is a master on the turf.
I liked your idea, Dan, that maybe they should just try to go to the lead here with her and see what happens. Again, she's just the kind of horse I wanted to take a shot with in here at a price, because I do think she's better than she looks on paper. Her first 2 starts last year, I think she ran really well in both of those, and she hasn't gone long since, but she's bred to stretch out.
4-2-5-1 for Mike, 8-5-2-1 for me. Some very promising fillies. Keep an eye on this group all year long in the Memories of Silver Stakes at Aqueduct on Sunday. Good luck.